Okay, so I think we're back, guys. Thanks so much for making the journey with me. And what we're going to look at next is okay, yeah, I want to look at this. And you guys probably can't see that, so let me share the screen to make sure that I can, yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I did was, it's been kind of fun. I've been reducing my library at home. Let's see if I can get everybody on here. I've been reducing my library at home because I only have two five-tier bookcases, and I've got probably enough to fill at least another bookcase like that. So anyway, to move to the new home. So I found some things that I can use in this class that I think are very, very useful for you and valuable for you. So we're going to go talk about, we got the thank you notes and the email pretty much covered, but we're going to talk today, first of all, about some of the writing tips. And so I want you to look at this exercise here. This is an exercise in one of the books that I came upon that I had. And it says, can you separate the euphemistic from the actual? And what that means is euphemisms usually try to make something more complex than it really is, and kind of dancing around the real meaning of the word. And I think so. For example, here, what this exercise is asking you is, can you match the column, the words, the phrases in the first column to the translation meaning in the right-hand column? And so, for example, one that I think you would probably be familiar with, especially if you have flown very much, is they're describing a life jacket as number 13, a personal preservation flotation device. Okay, let's make this as complicated as it can be, correct? So what I'd like you to do is take a few minutes and look at each one of these and see if you can match them, the first column to something that's in the second column. Okay, so take just a few minutes to do that. Okay, I just took attendance. I want to make sure if somebody is with somebody else, let me know. People I've got missing are Kaylee, Emily H, Evan, Nicole, Spencer, Tyler, Trey, and Duarte. Oh, Duarte's there. Good. I see Duarte now. Thanks. Anybody else that you guys are with somebody else? I know Evan's been with some people other times. Okay, good deal. Okay, so let's go through these one at a time. What do you think number 1 is? Anybody?
It's H.
H, absolutely. It's an accident, safety-related occurrence. Number 2 and number 3 and number 4 are all the same thing. What do you think they are?
Fire employees.
Fire employees. Yeah, yeah. You know, well, that's different ways of saying it, isn't it? Cost reduction actions, enhance the efficiency of operations, eliminate redundancies. Oh boy. Anyway, those all three are that answer. So it's F, G, and I. Okay, how about impact attenuation devices? As a hint, this has something to do with the road.
The oil drums one.
Oil drums, absolutely. Trying not to get people to run into those oil drums that are supposed to keep them from hitting a concrete wall, right? Candidate lacks a positive reference input. This is particularly important in election years.
I said E.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Is that Tanner? Thanks, Tanner. Absolutely. Economically non-affluent.
Lose money.
Okay, not exactly.
Poor.
Poor. Matthias said poor. That's right. Lose money is pretty close to it, but it's talking about non-affluent is describing somebody. Okay, unlawful or arbitrary deprivation of life.
Killing.
Yep, killing somebody, absolutely. Poorly buffered precipitation.
A.
Yeah, Philip. Somebody hit a ding. That's good. I don't know what that was. Did that just come from you, Philip?
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Terminal living. Somebody else ding in here.
Is it dying?
Yes, it's dying. Yep, yep. Thanks, Philip. Okay. Negative contributions to profits. This one was given before. Go ahead, Duarte.
Lose money.
Lose money. Absolutely. Absolutely. Urban transportation specialists.
Cab bus driver.
Okay. Thanks, Matthias. And then the last one, ballistically induced aperture in the subcutaneous environment. Bullet hole, correct? Okay, that's bullet holes. Okay, so let's go to something else. We're going to go next to another exercise that was in the same book. And this is exercise number 14, and you can see it, correct?
Yes.
Yes, all right, thanks. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that you can see it all. There you go. And so what I'd like you to do with this one is, what would be one word that can replace each one of these points? And this is trying to strike out the wordiness in your writing, okay? So go through these and try to figure out what do you think would be one word. And I'll let you have a few minutes to work on this, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so let's go through each one of them. So add an additional. Or let's just look at which ones do you know for sure. Let's do that first. Pick one out,
Number 3,
okay? And so what's the word?
coronavirus.
What's that?
Coronavirus.
Okay, but it's supposed to be one word that says the same thing.
I said now.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Number 3, now is good, at the present time. So what's another one?
2,
Okay.
aware of.
Oh, aware
Okay.
of. Okay, okay. There's another one that is just one word. Anybody think of it?
I
No.
put no for that.
No,
K-N-O.
absolutely. K-N-O-W. No. I know this. I'm acquainted with. I know them. I know that term, whatever. Okay? Good deal. How about another one? Let's go back to another time one. Number 4. At the time that.
During.
Okay, during. That would be good. What else?
When?
When. Absolutely. I wrote down then. So, I think it all three of those fit. All three of those fit. Okay. So what's another one? Let's just go through all of them. Number 1 is add an additional. What would be a simple say to say that?
Another.
Include.
Include.
Include. Okay. I just said add. What did somebody else say?
I put another. Like
Another.
one.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Number 5, despite the fact that. What do you think? Nobody have an idea? I put although.
Even.
Yeah.
Oh, even. Yep. Yep. Even would be good. Was there another one that we talk over each other? I'm sorry. Okay, let's go on to number 6. On behalf of.
For.
Yep, that's what I had. F-O-R, for. You're doing something on behalf of someone, you're doing that for something, so for someone. How about important necessities?
Needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you got this. Okay, the next one, in the event that. One little short word.
If.
Absolutely, if. So let's talk about that for just a minute. When you're writing and there's introductory statements, and this is an introductory statement to a sentence starts with if. If that is the case, comma, then you say the rest of it. When is another one. When this happens, when the tide goes out, comma, blah, blah, blah. So when and if, although, those are introductory phrases to your sentences. So just, and a lot of people use those and they're good. They're good to make a good sentence, okay? In the immediate vicinity of.
Near.
Absolutely, near is right, yep. Number 10 is in view of the fact that.
Because.
Yep, that's right, Philip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make the acquaintance of.
Meet.
That's it, Quinn. Thank you so much. And then how about the last one? The last one was harder for me. Pursuant to.
Belongs.
What's that?
Belongs.
Okay. So, yeah, it kind of, I'd have to look at that. It's hard without putting it in a sentence to me. I had therefore or because, you know, I don't know. I don't know if either one of them are right. That's the only one that really stumped me, that I don't know. I didn't know what it should be. Okay, so that's talking about writing. And then again, just to know that your sentences should be as concise and clear as they can be. That's the lesson we want to learn here. And so keep that in mind. Now I've got some other things. We're going to switch gears to presentation. So first of all, we talked about writing, some writing tips. And I would encourage you to go back to some of our first weeks. So we talked about grammar mistakes that are made, you know, matching the plural noun with a plural verb and so on. Some of those things, some of those words, loose and lose, you know, some of those things that are very obvious and lots of times confused. So we're going to switch now to some PDFs here that I want to share with you. And I may not have it right here. Just a second here. May have to open it from somewhere else. So forgive me for a moment here. Oh, I know. The first one's in Word. That's why my mistake here. So let me get to that. Okay. I had it there and lost it just like that. Are you guys still with me that you can see this? It's a Word document?
Yeah.
Self-assessment? Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So this is an assessment document that wants you to say, what do you have problems with? And this is in regards to presentation. So is it number one, that you don't know how to get started? Number two, that you procrastinate? Number three, so go through these and let's talk about which ones are true and which ones are false for you. Okay, so take a few minutes to go through this worksheet. Okay, so take another couple minutes and we'll go through these. Okay, so this is talking about presentations. And remember, our presentations are due. They're going to be given, you're signed up for the last 3 class periods that we meet. And one of those, the very last one, is the finals time that we have together and during finals week. And just know that I purposely schedule these. I purposely have your paper due a couple weeks before the end of the semester, so I have time to read them and you can get that out of the way. And then I purposely schedule these during finals week so that you can have a chance to focus on your tests and other things that are going to finish up the semester. So to me, you know, I like to give you plenty of time to get these things ready and the presentation's ready. Once you get it ready, you're done. You're done and you can focus on your other subjects, okay? So I hope you appreciate that the way I've spaced them out in the calendar. So first of all, down at the bottom of the screen, there is a choice of, I think it's reactions. Is that what it says below here? Below your screen, or is it at the top? Guys, where does this, where do you see it? You know what I'm talking about? Within Zoom. There's reactions anyway. So if you see a heads up or a thumbs up, what I want you to do is, how many people have a problem with how to get started in a presentation? Would you indicate with that whether you do have that problem or not? Or else if I could see you, you could all just put your thumbs up and I could see you. Ah, Emily just got hers up. Okay, Philip, good. Tanner. Okay, good deal. So again, how to even start getting it put together? You got to figure out what parts you're going to have, right? And there's an opening. What is important about the opening of your presentation? What have you learned so far?
It grabs the attention of the audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got to figure out what the hook is. Thanks, Cam. Got to figure out what the hook is to get them interested in your presentation to start out with. And so down here farther, I think what you got to figure out is what is gonna draw the attention of your audience, who is your classmates. And again, the reason I have this kind of presentation and the research that you've done is because then you're an expert on that topic. Okay, when you're asking for a recommendation for an internship or a job or anything, for me to act as a reference, I will say that this person is, and I think, Cam, if I remember right, yours is on impromptu speeches, correct? So I would tell that person that I'm making the recommendation to that talk to Cam about the importance of impromptu speeches. Okay, so I'd use that something that is something that you've done. Okay, so how about number 2, procrastinating? How many people do that? Hands up. Okay. Okay. So some of you are putting the out, some of you are clapping, some of you are putting your thumbs up, some others are raising your hand. Okay. So there's different reactions here, but quite a few people. Okay. So, you know, what we want you to make sure you don't do is wait till the last minute. That's procrastinating. So I would suggest that you really focus on this and try to be working on it as you go. As soon as you get your paper in, you'll have at least, that'll be 2 weeks, 2 full weeks before the presentation. Okay. So keep that in mind. So procrastinating, you know, doesn't help anything. The next one, I feel I know the information, but I have a hard time focusing on what I want to say. Okay, so what are some tips to help that? We've talked about that to know the information. You're the expert on this, whether it's nonverbal communication, whether it's conflict management, whether it's, you know, whatever your subject is, after writing an 8-10 page paper, you know a lot more than the majority of your classmates. So you know the information, but then what are you going to include? And I would strongly encourage you to, if you have to use note cards, but do not read off of the slides. You know, there should be smaller amount of words on the slides, and then you can expound on those points. Those points should be guide points for you. What do you want to say about that? What do you know about that? Okay. The next one is concerned about keeping the presentation interesting and not losing the people's interest. Okay, their attention. So you have 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And guys, if your presentation is 2 minutes, you're really going to be knocked down. It needs to be 10 minutes. Okay. So, and again, I'll cut you off if it's any more than that, because we won't have time for 15-minute presentations, but they need to be enough to fill. And again, it doesn't have to be a presentation. It can be some kind of activity. It could be a handout that you talk about. It could be whatever you want it to be for 10 minutes. So keep that in mind. Okay. And again, so you have a hook at the very beginning to get them hooked into listening to you, but then what is going to be of interest to them? That's, you've got to figure out who your audience is. Okay, the next one, presentations are okay, but they lack polish and precision. How about that? How many people feel that way? Okay, Just a couple. So you're feeling pretty good about, there's just a couple of you. So feel pretty good about it. That's good. The polish and precision, it comes with practice. Practice, practice, practice. If you have to practice with a roommate, practice with a friend, practice in front of the mirror. I mean, now we have so many video tools, you know, give your speech and record it and then look at it and say, whoa, that didn't work. I need to work on that, you know. So just know if you can visualize yourself giving the speech, that's going to be tremendous. And again, this is conversation. You're just having a conversation with your classmates where you're relaying information to them. This isn't scary. This isn't scary like you're going with people that you don't know. You do know these people. And again, we're going to be doing this online. So you're not going to be doing it in person. So you are just going to be talking to people, which is good, which is a good thing. I find it difficult to wind things down and wrap them up. Okay, so you need to have, just like you have to have an opening to grab their attention, you need to have a conclusion. So it should not be, that's all I have. Thank you. It should be, in closing, I have talked about this and this and this. I hope you have enjoyed what I had to share with you. You know what I mean? Some kind of closing. So, and then again, it can be 8 minutes long and ask for questions if there's any questions. And please listen critically and come up with some questions if we have time for questions. Okay. Next thing, I hate researching and organizing information. Who can relate to that? Okay. The secret to fighting that is to pick something that you're really interested in, you really want to know more about, okay? Then it's not going to be a hard task to go out there and find out what you can find. And it's going to help you in the future. That's critical. Okay, last one, I'd rather walk on hot coals. Was that anybody? Okay, I know they say some people would rather die than to give a presentation. So we don't want to go that far. Okay, so I've got a couple more. Okay, we have 10 minutes left, so just perfect timing, I believe. A couple more that I want to share with you that are PDFs here. And let me find them. Oh, there it is. Just a minute here, see if I can't get this brought up. Yeah, it's a couple pages. And again, I've taken this out of some books. I have a book that says having something to say when you have to say something. So again, this is, let me make it smaller so you can see it, would be helpful. Okay, so put a check mark. What are your pain points when you're planning a presentation? So put, you know, figure out which of these check mark by those that apply to you, and then go back and circle the number one pain point. So let's just go through to see which ones pertain to you. Give you just a couple minutes here. Okay, so when we're talking about these pain points, guys, which ones of those really speak to you?
I usually have a hard time narrowing down my topic.
Okay. So trying to figure out what are the most important points, right?
Yeah.
That'd be part of it. Okay. Now the notice too short, I don't think that should apply because we've been talking about this all semester. Now, when they were talking about, I read a little bit further in this book, and they were talking about that. What is the difference between when a supervisor comes to you and says, I need you to present to the committee tomorrow, or I need you to present to them in 2 weeks or a month, or if they say, I need you, it's 12 o'clock and they say, I need you to report to the committee at 2 o'clock. That notice too short is pertinent then. To me now, you have plenty of time. Use your time wisely. Do not procrastinate, okay? That don't want to do it, hey, I understand that some of you don't really want to do this, but it's part of the class. It's going to help you in the future. I just guarantee that for you. So put that aside and just, it's something you need to do, and be brave and do a good job. How about somebody else? We got about 6 minutes left and we got one more page to go, but anybody else?
I would say disorganization.
Okay, thanks, Brock. I appreciate that. Yeah. So how can you get things organized? And that's kind of the outline. What are the points you want to talk about? And how much do you want to talk about them? So for 10 minutes, you got to figure out how much time are you going to spend on each slide if you do slides. 15 slides is too much unless you're going to build on points and use some animation that you're going to add more points at the next slide and the next slide. So just try to figure out how to get organized. What are the most important thoughts? And that would be just a good review of your paper. What are the most important facts that you can share in about 8 minutes with an introduction and a closing? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, let's go on to the next one. It's on the next page here. Let me scroll down here. And this is recognizing the payoffs for your good planning. So you preparing, again, practice, preparing, getting ready. What are some of the good things that you have that are going to pay off for your efforts of preparing? Okay, so what do you think your most important points are? We have somebody willing to share? Rafa, what do you think? Tiago?
Okay, I think it's important to be prepared because then you can be creative. I don't know if you know exactly what you're gonna say and you don't have to worry about it, so then you can just joke around and have a time when you're talking.
You bet. So less stress and less worry and being creative. Yep. How about somebody else?
My point goes kind of hand in hand with Matt's point, saying like you have a better time management. Like you know when what to do, and also like when it comes to presentation, when to say what. Like you're better prepared of what slides are going to come up. You know what to talk about.
Exactly. It's not like you're in your group project and you're not sure if you have this slide or they have this slide. This is your presentation, right? So you should know it well, know what you're talking about. Absolutely. Okay, we've got time for a couple more.
Wait, Deb, shouldn't you know what slides you have if you're in a group presentation too?
Well,
Ooh.
yes, but I have seen it where people don't know. They'll say, is this yours or is this mine? Right?
I mean,
Right,
some
Dave?
people maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Duarte, did you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Once in a while, the box lights up and I'm not sure if somebody wants to talk. So, okay. So anything else, guys? Well, that's all I have, guys. So, one thing I've done, Matt, and I've seen it over and over during the semester, the attendance and participation, they're worth 75 points each. And I had them in there as 150 points for each one, and it's supposed to be 75. So I changed that today. So your grade's going to look more realistically. I mean, this didn't hurt you for the midterm by any means, but it makes things look more in line. Anything else you can think of? The recordings, I figured out that the recordings that I was making, I think I wrote you guys about this. The recordings I was making, I thought they needed to be on private because anybody could come into them. And what I had heard was some classes are being interrupted by inappropriate kind of what are they, when you're photobombing, it's kind of like somebody bombs the Zoom recording and comes in with inappropriate language and just, who knows, I don't understand how that happens, but they said it was happening if they were public to some of the instructors. So we haven't had that, but anyway, I had just changed them all to private to make sure that that wouldn't happen. And then I figured out, I thought private meant that I sent you guys the link so you could find the link and go to it, but somebody out in the public would not be able to search it and find it. But that apparently somebody who has been working quite a bit in the class and missed classes, he said he couldn't access the recording. So I changed them all to public. So there shouldn't be any restrictions anywhere on any of the recordings. We've got just less than a minute now. So this is Maundy Thursday. If you have any religion in your background, and Easter is coming up on Sunday. So if you're going to celebrate, happy Easter. And if you're not of that persuasion, that's fine. Just have a wonderful weekend. But we'll plan on seeing you on Tuesday. Okay? So have a good weekend, guys.
Bye, Deb.
Bye-bye.
You too, Dad. Bye.
Thank you.